What's up, guys? We're live. What's up, Beezus, Chad Hart, Mastermind, James Brown, Male Patriarchy. What's up, Stoic? Hey, I'm rocking my Patrick Kane Blackhawks jersey right here, guys, but I'll let it be known to you guys. When Seattle gets an NHL team, the Kraken, I'm going to be a Kraken fan. Because I don't have a Seattle sports team yet that I can root for. What's up, Corey? I'm back on the IPAs tonight. Oops. There we go. Contact haze there. What's up, Nicholas? Yep. That's another good one. Look at that. Oh, the opening question, guys. What tests do women put nice guys through? What tests do you notice? What's up, Reggie? Man, 2020 is so wild, guys. I was just thinking about that. What a fun year. I mean, weird and crazy, but there's been so much that's been going on. I don't even know what's coming next, man. Who knows? Some say the aliens. Anyone in chat think aliens are coming next? Think we're going to hear about those? This is good. That makes me want to show you guys a video that I'm going to show at the end. It makes me want to show it to you right now. Yeah, all right, Chad. Get started in about 2 minutes here. Joe Biden looks like an alien. I hear you, Carl. You know I'm on board with that one. Hey, thanks, D-Man. I just try to give all the advice that I wish I had when I was trying to learn all this stuff. There was way less stuff out there back then. All right, 1 minute till countdown. I kind of forgot what we were talking about tonight. I made it earlier. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. We're talking about the tests. The tests. Based on a true story, guys. These tests that I drew up for today, I watched, I noted, I observed a social setting, and I saw these tests happening, and I was just like, dang, boom, boom, boom. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to have to do a live stream on that. Hey, shout out to the Prince Gang, says Chad Hart. Google Vatican snake. Yes, and the throne he sits on. Yes, creepy stuff. Creepy stuff. All right, we're getting going, guys. Hey, if you're rocking a drink for this one, here's going to be our fun little drinking rules. anytime you've seen a buddy or you yourself has made or have been put through one of these tests, take a drink. One of these tests that we're going to talk about today. Carl K says, I thought marriage was a good idea. Laugh out loud. Hey, at least you can laugh about it, man. They all drum it up to us as a good idea. You know that. Society tells us that. All right, let's get going. Boom. So here is the presentation today. We have 5 tests that women put nice guys through. And like I briefly mentioned, this is based on a true story-ish. Well, it is a true story, but it just happened that I observed this between a girl that I know that has experience and a guy that you could tell she deemed is a nice guy. And throughout the night, these 5 things happened. And then I just kind of extrapolated that out to these are just tests that you yourself have probably seen, or what's kind of fun is sitting on the sidelines and watching this, observing this, and you'll see this over and over again. And the interesting thing is when you see the more of these tests that a woman is putting a buddy of yours through, or just a random guy that you notice, or if you're out at the bars or something, the more she's testing him, the more you can tell she doesn't look at him as like a alpha, or she's not, is enamored with him. So the more she's testing him, the more reluctant she is about him. Okay. So here's the claim. Here's the claim for today. The claim I'm making is that nice guys get tested constantly. If a woman puts you in the nice guy category in her mind, she will frequently test you, and this is both consciously and subconsciously. So there's going to be things she does intentionally, there's going to be things she just does over and over again subconsciously that she doesn't really even probably know why she's doing it or can't really explain it, but you'll see it. Especially as an observer, you can notice these actions. Ooh. Can't let that happen. Gotta lock that in here. Boom. All right. Shout out to this guy in the picture here. What a perfect classic. Like when I was searching in photos for nice guy, this one popped up. How could you not put it on here? So anyway, nice guy. What are we talking about? And I'm going to give you guys the way I'm going to talk about nice guy is very fluid today. It's not going to be some branded guy like this fedora hat guy. This is just a stereotypical, when you say the nice guy or whatever. But, well, I'll get into it again. Nice guy to me is that perception changes in her mind based on behaviors that a guy gives. So even though we could say, oh, that's a nice guy when he's around women, it doesn't automatically say that's just a really nice person. He's just a really nice guy. It's like in the context with women, it's like he's a nice guy. And vice versa. Maybe a guy is a good person, but he's not a nice guy around women. He doesn't get taken advantage of around women. So the nice guy term we're using is it's all about perspective. It's all about her perspective in her mind. So an idea for this to kind of think about it is, a nice guy has the willingness to accept any behavior and treatment thrown at him, even if he doesn't want to. That's more of what I'm accounting for is a nice guy here. There's going to be things that a guy just puts up with, not because he wants to put up with it, but because he's scared or he's just so happy to be around her that he doesn't mention it. He doesn't even bring it up. He just accepts it. He just accepts the behavior that is given to him from whatever woman he interacts with. So let's read this guy's caption, though, for the fun of it. Defend my lady's honor. Nice guy, neckbeard. Boasts superior 170 IQ and will defend your honor with a sweet katana tucked into his trench coat. His fingerless leather gloves tips his fedora as he bows and says, "Date me. I will totally treat you with respect, milady." Oh, this guy. Wow, what a perfect persona for the nice guy. All right, let's go in a little bit more detail here, kind of like I was mentioning before. So a nice guy or a simp, in more detail, is a woman can also label a nice guy someone that she can easily manipulate. An aloofness or inexperience of what acceptable behaviors and treatment from a woman looks like. So if a guy can fall into this nice guy category is if he just doesn't have much experience, period. She can, in her mind, put him in that nice guy, right? It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with your personality outside of women. It's like, in this scenario, she's like, oh, he's a nice guy. And when you think about it, when she categorizes a guy like that, she puts him, oh, he's a nice guy. She knows how to manipulate him. And she's like, he's so sweet. He's so nice, because in her experience with him, he's always nice to her. He's always sweet to her. He never questions her. He just accepts everything about her as it is. So, right, in her perspective, in her mind, he's a nice guy. That's how she'll label him. So if a guy is really inexperienced and he's not even sure how, what it looks like for a woman to be like deeply attracted to a man or something, she might consider him as a nice guy, because he's like, it's like an innocent lamb, almost in that sense. Like, oh, what an innocent guy, what a sweet guy. He has no idea what's coming for him. He has no idea. So again, perspective and context matters, because there could be guys in your life that you think are cool dudes. Even like, you might think they're like, oh wow, that seems like a strong guy. I don't consider him like a nice guy pushover, but. Right, so his persona to you could be normal, but then you like see him interact with a woman, and you're like, what a simp, that guy, and he totally changes his demeanor. So it's all about context to her, how she relates to you, and that's how she categorizes you as like a nice guy, as somebody that she can toy around with. She can play with her food a little bit if she considers somebody nice. So in other words, think back to last week, the social gap that we talked about. So last presentation, we dissected the social gap, and we talked about it is the difference in social skills as it relates to body language, voice tonality, wordplay skills, manipulation tactics, and overall competence in dealing with the opposite sex or romantic interests. So just like we talked about on last presentation, that's another way is how I look at how a woman categorizes men, is that in her own mind, if she has gone on far more dates or she's interacted with far more men than this guy's interacted with women, if she sees that she can outread him on the body language, the voice tonality, she can play with her words more, she can use plausible deniability. If she sees that she can manipulate him because she's been around the block more than he has, in that context, again, she might label that guy as a nice guy. So there can be guys sitting here going, well, yeah, of course I don't consider myself a nice guy with women or whatever. But again, in the context of her, in her mind, if she starts to if she believes that her social gap is far superior than yours, she'll have this tendency to just put you as that nice guy in her mind, in her perspective, and then more and more of the tests and the testing will come and continue to come. So that social gap variancy, and that's why I brought up this picture from, I don't even watch the show much, The Big Bang Theory, but that kind of idea is where, that girl who's had more social experience and all that than the guys in that show, she would consider them nice guys because she could just manipulate them. She's been around that social game so much more than that other guy that she's just going to label him as like, oh yeah, he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. He's a nice guy. He's so sweet. He just forgives me for everything. He puts up with all my shenanigans. versus the guys that don't put up with that and call her out and stuff like that, and they just don't let her walk all over them. So I see some of these. So women do this subconsciously or consciously. It depends. When I get into some of these actual tests I'm going to show you, you'll see, and I'll try to break it apart. When I talk about certain contexts, I'll try to be like, yeah, this one you'll see a lot consciously or subconsciously, but this comes up both ways. And actually, hey, what a good comment or question, Maestro. What a great lead-in. We planned that. Me and Maestro planned that together, guys. That's a perfect lead-in into. I have 2 theories about this. Okay, so here are my 2 theories about why we see this. Why we see women constantly test these nice guys. And again, when I'm telling you guys, I haven't talked to you guys about the behaviors yet, but I saw these all in one night, in one little night happening. So my one theory I have here is she tests because she doesn't trust. And so one theory is that a woman will constantly test the nice guy, this guy that she perceives as a nice guy in her mind, because she doesn't fully buy into him. So on paper, he might be the right guy. He might be the Disney guy. He might be the guy that right on paper in what society tells the gentleman guy. But her biology, her hypergamy, her innate what she's attracted to, is telling her otherwise. Something's incongruent. Just like we know that the bad advice you get from mainstream, chase after her, tell her your feelings, tell her that you'd move the world for her. Just like we know that if you follow that advice, it doesn't work. She gets turned off. Well, right? Women hear what they say, they think that that's what they're supposed to deserve and get, because they're also getting that same brainwashing from society. So this guy might be doing everything that she's told in her mind that a guy's supposed to do for her. But then her innate hypergamy and innate biology might be going, well, why does this not feel right? Why don't I feel head over heels for him? Why am I not super in love with him like I should be? Because on paper, I should be in love with him. So if that incongruency is there inside of her, then she's going to be testing this guy because she's trying to figure out which of those feelings is correct. Can I trust my mind that society's telling me this is the nice guy that I'm supposed to want? Or can I trust my heart? My heart is telling me that I'm not attracted to him. I'm not turned on. So that would be one of these things that's always in her mind. So she's constantly going to test. And this would be very much a lot of the subconscious testing could come from something like this, because it's like such a, well, he's supposed to be doing all the right things, but it doesn't feel right. So subconsciously, a lot of these tests are probably going to come out where she doesn't even realize she's doing this, but she's trying to figure out whether this guy is real or not because something feels off. Now, theory 2. The second theory I have about this is that she tests so much, especially on a nice guy, because of self-sabotage. And why I kind of, separated these theories out is because I could see that first theory. I'll talk about this one in a moment, but I could see this first theory playing out a lot. Like, let's even say 50 years ago when it wasn't so promiscuous, when women weren't going out there with these high body counts. If it was just strictly this guy was, kind of being a pleaser, kind of putting her on a pedestal. She's kind of told she's supposed to like that, but internally she doesn't like that. I could see this like being a lot of testing that she does, some natural tests to try to figure out, why don't I feel attracted to him? This, on the other hand, theory 2, the self-sabotage, I could see this one a lot more recently in this modern era because so many women have such crazy pasts, crazy things that they've done in their past that they don't even forgive themselves for. They don't forgive themselves for that 11-man sausage train she ran in college. She doesn't even fully forgive herself for that. So if a girl's been out on the CC a lot, I feel like this theory makes a lot of sense, is that she'll constantly test this nice guy that accepts her, all of her behaviors. He doesn't question things. He doesn't, stand up for himself or not. He just accepts everything that she's throwing at him, because she knows she doesn't deserve him. So she keeps testing this guy because she's like, dude, you should not care about all these things. You should be more skeptical about me. If you knew my past, you would not be doing all of these things for me. So she knows that he shouldn't pedestalize her. So she constantly acts out in an internal attempt to self-sabotage. She doesn't feel she truly deserves to be treated like this and to be loved unconditionally like this guy, this Bettas is doing for her, because of her past, because of the things that she's done. So whenever this guy is just forgiving all of these things about her and she's acting up and she's getting emotional, she's screaming at him and he's just like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't. Like, it's eating her up inside, and she has this internal need to self-sabotage because she just can't comprehend that he would be so accepting and so willing to just openly just love this girl unconditionally. So those are just two kind of theories that I was kind of thinking about why we see so much specific testing with these nice guys all the time. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think on there? If you had to put your eggs in one basket or the other of these two, what would you say? Theory 1 or theory 2 in the chat. Like, what would be your guess, or what would you say is more responsible for why they test these nice guys so often? Because she doesn't trust him, something feels off, something feels incongruent, or you think it's because self-sabotage? She just is like, this guy Captain Sabotage should not be coming in here trying to save me. This is crazy. So it's like, this is too good to be true. I got to self-sabotage. Day drive, that's beautiful. Captain Sabo, the hero that no one really appreciates nor wants. That's classic. Let me drink a little beer here. All right, I'm going to pour my second beer, then we'll get into some of the actual tests that I noticed. And I'm doing that little concoction that, what do you call it? Space dust and super fuzz. Space fuzz or super dust. I can't remember what I'm supposed to be called, but I don't know. I tried it once or twice before. And again, I need somebody in the chat. If you guys see me reach for another orange beer later, I have this half of a space dust. The last time I forgot this, and the next day I came in and had, 2 half of wasted beers. And I'm going to have a half of this other thing sitting on the side. So don't let me grab another orange drink, guys, before I remember and finish those. All right. Okay, where are we at here? We're on the next slide. That's where we're at. After Captain Savaho here. By the way, guys, shout out to Captain Underpants. Dave Pilkey, I think, is the author's name. Captain Underpants, that was my book when I was going through like first, second grade. Captain Underpants just came out, and I was all about that. I read every one of those books as they were coming out. Shout out to those. Am I tipsy, James told? Not yet. I need a few more. Give me some shots or something. I'm just high on life right now. All right, let's see here. We got test number 1, guys. Test number 1. Now, again, I'm going to try to actually let me paint a little bit of a picture without giving anything away. To paint a picture, this girl that I saw put these tests through, right? Nothing against her. She's a friend of mine. Her idol is like Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy. She loves the Call Her Daddy podcast. I'm just giving you guys context. She was in a sorority in college. She's around my age. I think she's around 30 right now. She's been around the block. She's experienced. Let's say it that way. And anyway, so I'm just trying to paint that picture with you guys. And then she shows up with a group of us, a friend group, with a new guy. All right, just to give you guys the context. And I'll be honest. Let's see here. James Holden here. The one that asked if I was a little tipsy. James, I'm going to tell you guys, I noticed these 5 tests, and I was drinking and smoking all day long that day. And I still clearly remember these 5 tests. So that'll give you a little context that there was probably way more going on during this. But I was just having fun, and I still noticed all this stuff. All right. So the first test here is that you'll see, and again, these aren't in any specific order. These are just different tests you'll notice. So notice these with your friends. Notice these maybe in your own context, even with married buddies of yours. You'll see some of this stuff. So she'll test his social independence. And this is, again, if she labels a guy as a nice guy, if she doesn't fully trust a guy, if she's like not really fully into this, she doesn't do this stuff with Chad and Tyrone. I could do a whole separate webinar on how Chad and Tyrone would pass all these and they wouldn't even be tests, basically. It's just a whole different mindset. But in a social environment, if she believes there's like a nice guy or a beta mon, or she's not really sure, right? She's, kind of unsure or whatever, but she can feel that she's got this guy by the balls a little bit. What she'll do is she will bring him to a group of strangers, or she'll leave him isolated alone at a party, and this will show her how he fends for himself, and then she watches him sweat. Now, for Maestro, okay, this one is very much a conscious one. This one women will know. They will do this intentionally. Let's see how he handles himself. So again, in this context, a friend of ours brought a brand new guy to a group of all of us friends that have known each other for quite a while. We were all strangers to this guy. And that's one way that she's going to just kind of send him there and just send him to the wolves. Just see how he handles himself. See how he acts in this social environment. Now, another specific thing that she did when I said, or leave him isolated at a party, is, and again, I noticed this throughout the night, but she would be with him for a bit. Like, she started the night kind of with him. And then you can tell, and girls will do this intentionally, is she branched off and kind of lost him. Now, I wasn't consciously aware of like, oh, I see she's about to do it right now. She's going to lose him and all that. I just would randomly look around a little bit, and I'd be like, oh, why aren't they together? And then I'd notice, and then I'd kind of watch her a little bit just to see how she was kind of playing it. But these are little things that she'll do. She'll almost just try to lose him a little bit and just separate space, peel him off of her, leg, and then she'll basically sit in the bushes and watch. She's not going to be super like creepy about it, right? Girls have done a lot of this social stuff. They know the whole social game. So she'll be, playing with her friends, talking with her friends, but you better bet her eyes, her periphery, she'll be thinking. She'll have a spidey sense going on about what's he up to, where's he at, how's he fitting, for himself, how are the other people around him, the strangers, reacting to him. These are things, these are infernos that she will put the nice guy through, these blazing infernos, to where he can never relax. He's always getting bombarded with tests like these, and she's watching. She's just watching, and she's just waiting to pounce. She's waiting to have a reason to either get mad at him, break up with him, or to call him out about something. These are just, it's a very deep psychological game. Again, they're not always so conscious, tests like this one per se, but these are things that you'll notice. So that's one thing you guys can notice is if you see a girl and a guy together and you can tell that she seems to have a higher social IQ than he does. She just seems like she's more sociable than he is. You'll notice, you'll see, and she's going to kind of be the leader in social environments. So you'll probably see stuff like this. She'll peel him off of him at some point in the night to see how he can fend for himself and just watch. She's thrown him in the swimming pool without a life jacket on and saying, hey, show me you know how to swim. I'm not going to pick you up. I'm not going to jump in there and save you if you drown. I'm pushing you in and you better survive. These are the type of kind of ruthless tests you get put through over and over again if you're giving off the nice guy beta on vibe around women. I grabbed the wrong drink even there, but that's right. Still need to be drank. I forgot I got another one for this. So another part of this first test, the social independence, in more of a one-on-one environment, you'll see the same type of game, but you won't always see this. This one you won't always see specifically when you're in public, but in person on one-on-one, you would definitely see this, or she would be doing this behind the scenes if you were just a fly on the wall, is she will bait him in by showing affection, then she will push him away. And this is like a little test that she'll do. This will show her how he needs her more than she needs him. So as long as she continues to get this feeling that he needs her, he's more needy than she is, he needs to be around her more than she needs to be around him, the more she gets that feeling, this test will just continuously come up, because it's almost like one of those things where she's like hoping, dude, pass this test already so I don't have to keep testing you. But she'll continuously do this. So she might go up, give the guy a little kiss, and then the guy might be like, boom, all right, we're going to get it on. And then she'll pull away. And if this guy keeps coming after her, then she's like, he failed my test again. Look how much he needs me. So these are these little, and it's like, think about that. It's kind of like a sick little game. This one, I would say, is not more conscious. This is probably more of a subconscious one. She might go over there, give him a little kiss. You're being a good little beta on for me. Then all of a sudden, she kind of pulls back. She's not like fully into it. He comes in for more kissing. Then she like backs away and she's like, So this one could definitely be a subconscious one. But in this environment, again, in my mind of when I saw these tests going on, I saw a microcosm of this, because they started out the party together and then she branched off and she gave him space to see how he would fend for himself, see if he could kind of make friends on his own, see if he could be okay without her. And then what she did is she went back in. There was and again, in my mind, it's separated into a few different parts of the night. It's not so strategic. This is not how she laid it out and planned it out. This is just me sitting here observing with my crazy mind. But so she started the party together. She branched out, let him fend for himself. And then I noticeably remember a moment where they were together again, like off in the corner, like kissing a little bit, sort of like she came back in and gave him some affection, some, hey, you're mine again type thing. And then we got around in a smaller group circle and played a little like drinking game. And this is where I'm talking about stuff like this happen, right? So again, if I saw a Chatter Tyrone or a guy that seemed to have the upper hand in a relationship, we might see some kissing, and then we're going to, go in and play the drinking game. That girl is going to be right on that guy. She's going to sit on his lap, or she's going to be right next to him. No, she went in, gave him a kiss, buttered him back up, and then intentionally, when we got back in that smaller group setting for a smaller drinking game, in a small circle, she didn't sit next to him. She made him sit in a different area. So she separated herself again from him in like this secondary sick little social independence game. Like, hey, I just gave you some and now I'm pulling away. What are you going to do? How are you going to react? So those are these. And again, guys, this is one test. Well, those were 2 tests of the 5 I'm going to talk about in the inebriated mindset that I was in, all, passed throughout on one evening. So just imagine how this guy's life would be in person alone or whatever with her for the end of time. I mean, I don't think they'll be together for a while. It's just my own opinion, but I wish him the best. I wish him the best. Okay, let's go on to test number 2. Okay, test number 2 that you will get over and over again if a woman sees you as a nice guy or a bait him on. She will test his jealousy. So, she will talk about and or flirt with other men in front of him. This will show her how secure he seems, or she will taunt him purposefully with this. Again, there's a lot of mind games into this whole thing. But this is something that, okay, when we talk about, girls are testing, they're testing, whatever. If she's bringing up other men or flirting with other men in front of a guy, it's an obvious sign of disrespect. So why this is such a, it's almost like it kind of seems like an obvious one. Oh, she's testing you to see how you handles yourself. But there's a whole nother layer to this. Because, for example, a Chad and Tyrone, she would never risk this. Because here's the deal. Women, again, we know women are socially, they're adept. Women know the social game. Therefore, women know how incredibly disrespectful it is to bring up other men in front of a man that you have like a romantic feeling or romantic interest in. Women know this. Every single woman knows this. There's no and, if, or buts about this. They understand that that's a no-no. That's a rude, that's a bad move. Therefore, when they openly do this, it's like they have balls in a sense of they're like, haha, look at me. I'm going to do this and see how insecure you get, or I'm just going to do this to taunt you. I'm going to do this just to kind of rub it in your nose a little bit. But again, think about the underlying aspect of this. That is so incredibly disrespectful that she wouldn't even try this on a Chad or Tyrone. She doesn't try this on them because she knows how disrespectful that is, and she doesn't want to risk ticking that guy off and having that guy never want to see her again. She doesn't even bring this stuff up because it's so incredibly disrespectful. So this is what she'll do. She'll talk about and flirt with other men in front of this guy. So if you see this is happening, if you see this is happening to a buddy of yours, or if this is happening to you, it's not a good sign. It's because, again, right, every woman knows you don't do this to a guy, not even for a little game. It's just not nice. It's just disrespectful. Therefore, she doesn't do that if she respects you as a man. So how I saw this, man, and this was bad. I saw this a lot throughout the night. But, okay, for instance, she was talking about her ex-boyfriend. She was talking about other men in like sexual ways. There was another guy at this environment. I had never personally hooked up with this girl. She's just been a friend of mine. But there was another guy that they had a sexual past there. And she openly brought that up in front of the crowd so this other guy could hear, to like make it known that they had a sexual past. Like things, it's like, and again, watching this, it's so weird, right? Because I know this girl, I know her, the whole history, and I know all this other stuff about the dating game and all this. So it's all just, it was playing out. And to me, it was almost like this is like some gross movie that I have to watch. But it's just like when you have this red pill awareness, you have this lens on, you'll see this everywhere you go. And sometimes it's hard to watch. Some of these things made my stomach kind of cringe. I'm like, God, is this for real? I feel like I'm just watching another red pill movie that I'm showing on a live stream. Like, this is real life, though. So she would bring up other men. She would bring up her exes. She would bring up other guys in a sexual setting. And it was very much intentional. It was like she wasn't trying to be secretive about it. She wasn't trying to be like, oh, I don't want she was openly venting this out so that this guy would catch wind of it and see and hear. It's like she wanted to so badly throw this out there just to see how this guy would react. Again, when I go back to the two hypotheses on this, I don't know. There's so much entanglement in this. It could be a mix of both of those things. But it was tough. It was tough to sit through on some of these things because how about this one here? Okay, a second part of this, of the same test here, of testing the jealousy, is if a woman openly talks about her sexual past, and this will show her how he reacts, whether he's intimidated or not. Openly talking about her sexual past. Okay, when I told you guys this girl likes to call her daddy, we were playing this drinking game, and it was like this really dirty drinking game. And she kept wanting, hey, ask me the questions. Hey, give me the deck. I want to talk. She wanted center stage when it was this dirty sexual drinking game. Every question that was being asked, even if it was to someone else, she would like jump in with her own sexual past, her own sexual story. She told us this story about this guy that she didn't really like, and she wasn't really into him, and she had no plans of hooking up with him. And then, of course, as the story goes, she tells us about this jizz stain in this story and this crazy thing, and she ended up hooking up with him in this crazy. It's like it was cringeworthy to watch because in my mind it was like she was being call her daddy. She was trying to be call her daddy to our room of people, and it was just like the guy she brought there. This guy that she was basically, it's like a date, right? He doesn't know any of us. He didn't know any of us. And she's sitting here taking like center stage with the microphone, talking about her entire sexual past, sexual history, talking about anal beads and how she goes for the anal beads on the first, one night stand. If you can't handle that, then blah, blah, haha, you can't be with me. She was literally talking like call her daddy right there in the room, in this small circle with this new guy that she just brought, and we were all just kind of like, okay. And guys, I'm not kidding you. No matter what question was asked, it was like, well, no, ask that one to me. Ask that one to me. It's like, whatever sexual deviant, what's your biggest sexual kink, or what's your whatever, blah blah blah. It's like she wanted to answer them all, and all these stories were about other guys or things that she had done in her past, and like this new guy that she brought was right there. It was so weird. It was hard for me to stomach and swallow because I was just like, how can this guy take her seriously like that? But that's the type of thing she'll do when she's just like, it's like she's playing with fire. It's like that should be something that turns a guy off, and it's almost like she's like, haha, hey, I'm going to throw this all out there and watch, you'll still love me. Watch this. It was a really odd thing. And then someone even gave her like a look, because again, we knew her, and someone gave her kind of a look like, are you sure you should be talking about this right now? And she, again, openly said, it was like so-and-so, the guy she brought, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about my past. He doesn't care about whatever these things. And that's why I'm still with him. And it was like, she said it in like a threatening way, It was like oh yeah, he doesn't care. I can do whatever I want. And that's why that's the only reason I'm with him. That's the tone I got from it all. So it was just an odd setting. That was only test number 2. And again, I don't know this guy that well. I liked him well enough for the brief time I know him. I don't wish this upon him. I know this girl. Again, I like this girl as a friend. She's my friend. I don't judge her for things like that. But if you want to get romantically interested with her, I wouldn't do it. I'll tell whoever needs to hear that. Oh, man. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Here's another one. Test number 3, his conversational initiative. She will introduce him and talk or answer for him around others. You guys might see this with some of your married friends. You guys might see this. This will show her how confident he is in his own thoughts and opinions. So, here's what I mean by this in certain contexts, right? You might see in relationships where a girl comes up, hey, I'm Wendy and this is Bill. I am a floral designer and Bill is blah, 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 right? She introduces you both. She doesn't let you talk. She talks for you guys. It's us, right? It's like that same idea of like the combined Facebook between couples. It's like, it's not my Facebook anymore. This is our Facebook and she speaks for us. Oh, can I post something on our Facebook, honey? Better check in with the boss. She controls all of the communication devices. She is the lead boss when she sees you as a Bettas or one of these nice guys. So that's how you'll see this. She'll introduce herself. She'll introduce her husband or her boyfriend or whatever, and she'll kind of talk for him. Or she'll not let him finish sentences. It's like she'll sit around and she'll answer for him. It's almost like the older sibling who speaks for their baby brother or baby sister. And so the baby sister, it's like learned helplessness. They learn to never talk because the overbearing, older brother or older sister just is like, oh, he can't talk for this. I'll talk for him. So she completely takes the conversational initiative and basically scoots him out of it. Now, here's how I saw this specifically in this night. This night, I had a great night. It was a great night for me. It probably sucked for that dude. So how did I see this? Oh, that's right. Okay, so we played this drinking game, the one that I was talking about, and it would get to a point like we went around in a circle, and we had some order about how we would ask different people questions, and there were 2 different times where he was asked a question. And he was in the middle of giving his answer. He was thinking, and he was like, And he was about to give an answer, and this girl would jump in and answer for him. Oh no, blah, blah, blah. Or he likes blah, blah, blah. It's like she couldn't even let him have his turn in the game when the entire circle would sit there and listen and watch. Like we're just drinking or whatever, and it's his turn up. So we're all sitting there and watching, and all of a sudden it's like, he's thinking, all right, give him some time to think. She bursts in and answers the questions for him. She talks over him. That's like her. She feels like if she feels that she's above you socially, she's like, I'm not going to give this guy a chance to speak in this conversation. No, I can speak better, so I'm going to speak for him. I'm going to talk for him. Now, when you think about this, okay, if she will talk for you as a man, when she thinks of you or as a guy, all right, I'm going to get the copyright strike, but it's always worth it. You teach me and I'll teach you. Bettas. Gotta catch 'em all. Bettas. Gotta catch 'em all. That's right. When she thinks a guy's a Bettas. By the way, guys, right? Hey, you guys hear that clip? I should not get Pokemon copyrighting me for that, should I? I have to dispute that now every time in the videos. That little clip. So this is like all of those years she spent role playing with her Ken dolls. Think about this from a different level. When a girl just thinks and this is again like one of those subconscious ones. A guy's about to answer and she just kind of feels like she has social superiority over him. So she answers for him. A subconscious kind of effect. This is like her reliving all those years she spent when she was growing up where she could play dress up and play social with her Barbies. And guess what? Now she's got her Bettas Ken doll right in front of her that she gets to, just like she did before, play make-believe. Here's how the conversation goes. Do you want some tea? Here's how the Bettas Ken. Oh, this guy's about to answer. No. She's used to controlling the Bettas. You don't get an answer. I answer for you. Yes, I would love some tea. Can you give me some crumpets with it, please? Let's sit around. Mr. Teddy Bear, would you like to join us at the table? It's her conversation, not yours, because she sees you as that perfect little Bettas that she can mold and manipulate and talk over and talk through. This is when we talked about the Esther Villar manipulated man, how women spend every day recreating themselves with makeup, with hairstyles, with clothing. They've been doing this for so long, right? They spend so much time recreating themselves that they just think it's normal to recreate others, like her Bettas. Oh, he was about to say that. No. You're my Bettas now. I tell you what to say. This is what she does. She sticks her claw-like fingers. She sticks them right up your rectum. And then she reaches all the way up there, just like a little puppet. And then she goes, beep. Here's how he's going to talk. And then she just controls, hey, I'm a Bettas, blah, blah, blah. I love happy wife, happy life. That's her game plan if she looks at you as the nice guy or the Bettas. She's just role-playing more and more with her Barbie dolls, her Ken dolls, like she's been used to for many, many times. Yeah, perfectly said here. Super chat from AJ Taylor. Appreciate it, man. He says, never let her speak your thoughts. Absolutely. Again, I could have done a whole secondary webinar on how would Chad and Tyrone approach all of these situations. But yeah, exactly. Never let her speak your thoughts. They wouldn't even think to speak the thoughts for Chad and Tyrone. They don't give off that nice guy Bettas image, so girls don't even try or whatever. But these other guys, when these girls think that they have the social leverage on them, then it's like, ooh, my little Bettas, I can't wait. Guys, look at it. Here's your challenge, guys. Every wedding invite you get, look at the outfit that the guy is wearing. And I would guess, and when I'm thinking of the last 12 that I've received, I remember thinking right when I saw that, I go, there is no way he picked that outfit out. Yeah, there's no way he picked that out. That was her. She plays dress up with this guy. She picked out the whole outfit. She picked out that little, cute little thing in the scene, and she made him reenact that for her. That's the type of stuff you'll see. You see that? That's what starts the marriage picture. And that's just the beginning of her fantasy of recreating you every single day. She's going to go shopping for you. She's going to throw out your shirts. Oh, this hobby that you like. Nope, that's not cool. Got to get rid of that hobby. Nope, I want you to hang out with these friends now. She's got it all set up for you. All you got to do is be a good little Bettas, bow your head, accept your goddess, and she will plan out every day for you. She'll plan out your itinerary, and she'll tell you exactly what you are allowed to say and what you aren't allowed to say. And then if she doesn't even trust that, she'll just start speaking for you in every environment. Have fun. All right, we got... Yeah, some guys prefer Bettas. They treat the guy as a dog. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is interesting, guys. There's so much psychology on this. Because in a sense, and this is why you actually might see the girls with the Bettas husbands or the Bettas boyfriends, and they're literally just getting pounded on the side, because although it would be nice to have a slave for yourself, right? Think about this. These girls look at it like, I got basically a slave. He'll do anything for me. These guys, these Bettas that will do anything for these women. So on one sense, right, it's nice because she literally has a personal servant. However, women aren't attracted to that. We all know that. They don't want the nice guy. They want the guy that keeps them on their toes. They want the guy that's hard to get. He's unclear with his feelings. He's mysterious. He doesn't pander to her. That's what they're actually attracted to. So that's the danger, is even some guys I know, there are some guys I know, they're just like, hey, Adam, you don't understand. It's okay. I understand she's kind of taking advantage of me. It's okay. Some guys will actually tell me that. And it's they're like, I'm okay being, doing whatever I can for her. That's fine. Great. Because that makes her happy. But what they don't understand is that doesn't make her happy. That is just, you're her personal maid. It doesn't make her happy in an intersexual dynamic, so it's never going to last. You'll never get any type of reciprocal behavior because it just turns her off. It's like she's getting the free busboy wherever she goes. And so to the guys that are like, well, hey, I'll just be her little beta and it'll make her happy. It's like, but she'll never be attracted to you. She'll look at you like you have no spine. She'll look at you like she is disgusted by you. She'll look at you like she has to speak for you whenever she takes you anywhere because she can't trust anything you say because she doesn't look at you as a man. It's like all these things. It's like that's the type of stuff I want to tell the guy, whereas he's just like, hey, no, I'm going to live the happy wife, happy life. I'm happy to do it. I can't wait. He just doesn't see the domino effect of how that will play out. He still thinks like if he does all that, he panders for her, he puts her on a pedestal, it'll be happily ever after, but it won't be. What did I do? I haven't even done this one yet, have I? No, I haven't. Okay. All right, here's another test that she'll do. His acceptance of criticism. Okay, she'll test a nice guy with this. She will openly criticize him and point out his flaws. This will show her how willing he is to be walked all over, right? Think about this. That's not an attractive quality in a person if they're willing to just be walked all over. They're not sticking up for themselves. They don't have a spine. But she'll continuously do this over and over and over again is almost like all right, here's your chance to answer it right this time. I'm going to call you out again. And again, it's like a pattern of behavior that continually happens. It's almost like you just treat her how to continuously criticize you. It's like it becomes an addiction for both of you, almost in a sense. It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. It teaches her to criticize you, and then she has to keep testing like, man, he needs to figure this out. So she keeps bringing it up and testing him, and then it just becomes this cycle over and over and over again where he just keeps getting criticized. She's just like, dang it, stick up for yourself so I don't have to keep doing this. And instead he just keeps, yeah, you're right, it's me, it's my fault type thing. And it's just this never-ending cycle of criticism because he's just continually accepting it. He just takes it. He's taking what's given to him. Oh, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, my fault. This is where you get into that, it's like a really sick mindset of where, and this can happen on both ends. This could happen when you talk about like a girl with an abusive boyfriend or a, verbally abusive boyfriend or whatever, and especially on the other side as well with men, where they get in this mindset where it's like the girl cheats, right? And this is almost like a society mindset at this point. The girl cheats, and yet he buys into the same belief that she feeds him is like, well, it was your fault. You weren't giving me the emotional charge I needed. You weren't giving me the emotional flair that I needed. So I had no other choice. I had to cheat to save the relationship. I had to sleep with another guy to save the relationship because you weren't doing your job. And that's when it can get really, really sick, when you get both parties to believe into that. When it's just, all so backwards. But that's how these things happen. And okay, so when I saw this happen, this was another one of those things where, and again, I would hope in a healthy relationship, in relationships that of people, you should not see open criticism like this, especially in a public place. That's such a sign of disrespect. Like, hey, if you have some things, handle it personally on your own time. Do not air this out at a group social event or at a party or something like that. But this happened where, we were playing that drinking game or something, and there was like two different things that came up where she just like got on this guy and criticized him. Something was about like him doubting himself. That's a very personal thing. When we talked about, don't reveal information to women, be careful, they'll use it like cops. Know your rights. Don't say things you don't want repeated. Well, she openly aired this to us because some question came up about something or, what do you do when you doubt yourself or whatever? And she just reamed on the guy. I hate it. I hate how much you doubt yourself. I hate it that you're always talking down upon yourself. And it's like, I was just like, don't, in my head, I was like, don't air that out. And she knows this. People are socially smart enough to understand. Don't air that type of dirty laundry out, especially to a group of people that never met the guy before. Like, that's pretty bad. That's like reading from a guy's diary, and you're doing that right there and just calling the guy out instead of letting him answer the question how he's comfortable with. So she criticized him with that. Another thing, it was an interesting criticism because one of the questions was, it was like, what is the most selfish thing you've ever done? And she got like almost angry. And again, right, it wasn't her question, but it was like, what's the most selfish thing you've ever done? And she badgered him about this before. He was sitting there thinking, and she's like, you're like the least selfish person I know. You don't do anything selfish. But she said it with this venomous tone. She was angry. It was like one of those things. She was like angry about like, what? Oh, you're too nice. You're too good. You're too good to me. I don't deserve this. Other people don't deserve this. But she criticized him for something that should be. It was like a reverse. You know, if you're at an interview and they're like, hey, what's a weakness of yours? And it's like, well, my weakness is like that I care too much. Okay. She did a reverse of that. She took what was a very noble trait of this guy. Apparently, he's a very not selfish person, right? I didn't know the guy, but I got that vibe from the way that she was reacting. So the question is, what's the most selfish thing you do? He's going to try to answer because, again, my opinion too, that I get of this guy is probably pretty humble as well, pretty modest. I only knew him for, a night and I was, pretty blitzed out, but still, it's like a noble quality, and yet somehow she turns that into like a bad thing. Oh, you're so selfless. You're never selfish to anyone. It was just so odd, but that's the type of thing. It's like this resentment, this anger that women get when guys are too nice to them, when they pedestalize them, because they're like, the girls are like, hey, I'm a normal person and I have a lot of flaws. Why are you being so nice to me? You should be worried about these things that other people are worried about. She's probably thinking in her head, you need to listen to Adam and listen to his channel because there's a lot of things about my past you should be worried about, but you have no idea. So she like takes his anger out on him. Oh man, feel bad for the dude, but interesting to see. Yeah, what's taking selfish too far? Normie's drinking some Goose Island IPA. That's a good reminder for me to take a little drink. The land whale and OnlyFans epidemic. Yes. Talk about the curse of hypergamy. Like we talk about that a lot. It's like they can't be happy with the simps because they even know, the thoughts of the world know that the simps are too good for them. Right? They know that the simps should, they know better than anyone that these simps are practicing worshiping false idols. They know that. They can talk the big game like they're some goddess, some, I'm such hot stuff, but deep down they know it's so far from the truth. So they're just like, what is this guy doing? Why would he, like, makes them angry. I can't figure it out. Why would he do all this for me? All right, oh, wait. Whoa, wait. Oh, I had 2 for that. Oh, that's right. I had 2 for each of these guys. I don't know. I made these slides a couple hours ago, so in my mind, it's out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. I don't remember. I remember like stuff that happened, like boom, right here. Okay, 2. That's right. Did I already do this one? Yes. Oh, okay. So the second part of this, test number 4, is that she will call him out and combat him frequently. You'll see this a lot in couples. A lot of this will be in couples. This is her subconsciously hoping he will put her in her place. So that's another thing. Okay, so let's take an example of a chatter Tyrone. If a chatter Tyrone got a question in this like drinking game we're sitting there playing, and somebody asked that chatter Tyrone a question, and that chatter Tyrone answered, he wouldn't get very much combatant, if any, from women. They'd just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I believe him, I trust him, whatever, yeah. And it was virtually basically the opposite, right? When this guy would answer, when we have these questions, whatever the thing was, he would answer, and it's like she had to combat his answer. Not only could she not, she wanted to answer for him for a lot of things. It's like when he would come up with an answer, it was like she'd be like, no, that's not true. No, she would combat his answers. She wouldn't even allow him to get the last word in. It's like no matter what he said, she was going to play devil's advocate and combat him. And again, what is that? I don't know. The subconscious, like I need to keep testing him to what? A, either make, hopefully he figures it out and puts me in my place, or B, I just need to keep testing him because I don't deserve him and I need him to get sick of me and want to just be done with me and stop dealing with it. I don't know. It's weird. But you'll see that combating. They just can't give the guy credit for anything, or they can't accept it. They can't follow along with his opinions or his thought processes. That's what you'll see. And again, like I said, notice this a lot in couples. He says something, watch how often she combats him. Versus there's actually one that I'm just proud of this. It was a couple that she was like a mom that volunteered a lot when I was a school teacher. And I've stayed in touch with some parents, or just some people once I left education. But I love that she always has these posts that she makes where she's always like bragging about her husband. And she's always like, I love this guy as much as, I love this guy way or more now than I did 20 years ago. And man, I was head over heels for him then. Every time I hear her talk about her husband, it's positive. She's supportive of him. It's virtually the opposite of the combatant. No matter what he would say, if he said anything, she would like have his back. She'd be like, yes, I got you. She jumps on his back to help him and attack enemies, versus this other girl, right? She became an enemy herself. Everything he said, she had to jump out and be like, no, that's not true. She had to attack, make him defend his own opinions about things. Just totally different worlds from one to the other. But you'll see that a lot. That's another sign that she looks at that her husband is a betamon, or her boyfriend or whatever is a betamon. Mastermind, rational. I hear you, man. Yeah. Yeah. Mastermind, I kind of want to go into that whole thing. That would be more along the line of like the how to Chad and Tyrone handle the situations and all these. But it's, man, this all this stuff is just so interesting. Social dynamics. So interesting. All right, what are we at here? Test 5. All right, test 5. You'll see this one come up a lot. If she looks at a guy as a nice guy or a betamon, she will test his patience and his time. Okay, so she will be late to things and or make you wait without reason. This will show her how much he respects his own time. If she just continually does this and the guy just allows her to continually do this. Now, we all know is a cliche, waiting on a woman. Right? We know that that's a cliche, that women, waiting on a woman. But there's a difference to this. There's the difference between women going, I'm going to try my best to always be on time. I don't want to be late with this guy. I don't want to show up late because this guy might send me home. I don't want to show up this late because if I show up late, tonight, he might not ask me on another date. Okay, that's a totally different mindset than the mindset that women will have when they see you as a nice guy or a betamon. So, for instance, how did we see this? Oh, just talk about icing on the cake of the night. It's probably, I don't know, 2:30, 3 a.m. We were winding down. Myself and, a handful of other people ended up staying at my buddy's place. Like I said, I got pretty wild. But as we were winding down the night, playing a drinking game or whatever, the guy left, and he was going to take the girl with him, right? So he went out into his car. So he goes out into his car. She stays and goes, hey, ask me some more questions. That game, that sexual game, she just wanted to talk and get all that sexual energy, everything out. She didn't want to leave. So the guy goes to his car to start the car, right? It's 3 a.m. or so. She stays in there and, hey, ask me more questions. All right, she's in here for, I don't know, a good 5, 6, 7 minutes. So all of a sudden the guy comes back through the door. Car's still running out front, but he's playing it off cool, right? He's not getting flustered. He's just playing it off cool. Like I said, he seemed like a nice dude. He just seemed like a good dude, a nice guy. And he just came in, oh, hey, guys, and so he kind of looked at her like, okay, yeah. He came in just like saying hi, car's ready. And then she basically kind of shoot him off like, okay, yeah, I'll be out. So he's like, okay, and he walks back out. And then she's just sitting there. She made it seem like, hey, I'll be out. I'm just finishing this last little thing or saying my goodbyes. He goes back in the car. Guys, I'm not kidding you. She wanted more questions. So she's sitting there. She takes a good, another probably 7 minutes or so. And the guy comes in again. Same demeanor, not flustered. But he's just like coming in, checking in. Oh, hey, it was just a casual, nonchalant way of basically saying like, hey, I thought you were going to come out there. Apparently you're not. Here I'm coming again to come back in and get you. And then it was another one of those like shoo him away, like, okay, I got to go type thing. She's like, okay, I got to go. And she's like, all right, I'll be out there again. Like shoot him away again. And he leaves, goes out there. And she's still sitting down. So at this point, because we all know this girl. We're like, hey, go outside. He's waiting. And it was like she was waiting for somebody to say something like, it's almost like she was waiting for the guy to come in and say something like, hey, I'm waiting for you, just to try to snap at him. Because when finally we're like, hey, he's waiting out there for you. We were just like putting up with it like, come on, like come on, stop this. But then she's like, I don't care. She said it like right away. It was like it was ready on command. She was waiting for this. Someone goes, hey, he's waiting out there. And she goes, I don't care. I'll do what I want. And it's like that rebellious attitude, right? It's like a I'm playing with fire because I want to play with fire type thing. That is so different than a girl just being aloof or, always late for things or whatever, but trying her best to be on time because she doesn't want to make a guy upset or she knows it. This was opposite. She was stalling as long as possible because she wanted to get a rise out of him. She wanted to get a reaction out of him, or she wanted someone else to point it out so that she could be like, look at me. I have all the power in the relationship. I do what I want. I don't care. I'll make him wait. It was like a very much like a power move in the way that it was all set up and how it went down. Okay, so now this last one is the only one that I actually didn't see of the night. I mean, it was the same. It's the 5th test, but this is the type of thing that it goes along in the same avenue. His patience and time. She will test a guy's patience and time. She will cancel date plans and reschedule last minute. This is because she doesn't respect a guy's times. Like, again, think about that. So if a girl, let's just take 2 examples. A girl plans a date with some beta mon that she knows is like all into her. Girl plans, a hangout with her girlfriends that she wants to get together with. All right. Well, the 2 different scenarios are this. If something came up and she couldn't make it with her girlfriends, she would let them know when she found out that it couldn't happen. She would give them the courtesy to be like, hey, by the way, I can't hang out, Wednesday anymore because blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't. But the other spectrum of this is she'll set up dates with Betamon and she doesn't even have any intention of going on them. They're like last resort dates. So in her mind, she might set up a date for Thursday. And in her mind, she's like, there's a 1% chance I'll actually go on that date. That's like if everything else on Thursday falls through and I'm super hungry and I want a free meal, then maybe I'll go on that date. She looks at it like she just doesn't care. She has zero respect for that guy's time in her mind. She doesn't care at all. In her chance, 1 out of 100 times, she'll actually show up on that date. Versus that guy on the other end, he, in his mind, that Thursday night is like so special to him. That Thursday night he's looking forward to all week long. He's telling his friends about it. I can't wait. This date we're going to go on. This girl is amazing. She's beautiful. What shirt should I wear? Where should I take her to? What should I do? Should I show up with flowers? He's spending so much of his thought, energy, and time and investment into this date that will never happen. Versus her, she doesn't care about his time. So she literally just plans, oh, yeah, Thursday. That sounds like I could probably make it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thursday comes. She's literally setting that date with the intention already of going last minute, I'm going to cancel because I don't want to go on that date. But she doesn't care about that guy's time. She doesn't respect that guy's time. Therefore, she won't tell that guy till the very last minute that she's going to cancel or that she wants to reschedule. Because again, she doesn't respect his time. That's what will happen if, in her mind, you are the nice guy or the Betamon. She just, I don't care. I don't care about his time. Why should I? That's just the way she'll play it. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Dylan. Yeah, that's actually a good way. They actually put in time and effort just to not show up. Because for them, it's easier to be like, yeah, let's go on that date Thursday. Then, because in her mind, right, she goes, this Betamon asked me out for Thursday. If I say no, either Betamon will ask why, or Betamon will ask, well, what about Friday? What about Saturday? What about Sunday? So she'll still have to put more thought energy into canceling on him later. That's her thought process. So in her mind, she goes, well, sure, I'll just say Thursday works, knowing that I'm going to cancel on him. I don't really like this guy. But it buys her some time. So in a sense, it's wasting time and energy, but in her mind, it's not necessarily wasting time and energy because in her mind, she's saving the time and energy that she would have to spend in the next few texts to be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, Friday I can, or Saturday, or she'd have to keep making up excuses. So in her mind, she might actually be saving time and effort just by saying, yeah, I'll show up Thursday with no plans of doing it because the other guy then won't hound her because he's like, oh, cool, Thursday, can't wait. So then she actually gets some breathing room. It's a different way to look at it. Totally different way to look at it, but that is how I would perceive it goes through her mind in a lot of these scenarios. How does a guy get her to respect his time, his behavior, the way he reacts? That's why, guys. This is one of the hardest things. When I say texting, guys, for guys, is there's some really cool dudes. I say this all the time. There's some really cool, busy guys. They're successful. They got things going on in their life. Women would be lucky to have them. They know that. Maybe I know that because maybe I've talked to this guy or I've spent some time with him. But what they don't understand is the way that they are texting a girl, there's no possible way that she could perceive the actual value of this man because the way he's communicating to her through text, he's coming across as needy. He's coming across as desperate. She's texting him back, so he's responding right away going, hey, how's it going? Hey, I was thinking about you. When a guy texts her back quickly, right, she notices the pattern of the guy's text. She doesn't notice the words the guy's saying. So the guy could be lying, or the guy could be like, hey, I got a big meeting coming up. I'm really busy. Guys could be saying that, and right? So that's the big discrepancy. Is a lot of guys think that that's enough. But again, talk is cheap. Just like women have been told all the lies they need to hear for forever for guys trying to get in their pants. Talk is cheap. So a girl will never respect a man's time until she understands she has to respect his time because of the way that he's coming across. When he's not texting her very often, he's not giving her very much when he's texting. When she's putting all these patterns together, that's how she gathers a guy, his time's in demand. That's how she knows. She doesn't just guess. She doesn't go, well, this guy told me he's super busy, so I better believe him. It's like she goes off of how she sees your texting. That is, texting today is a woman's filtering mechanism. They use texting. I don't care how good you do in person. These days, a girl goes, oh yeah, wait. They end the night, hey, what's your number? Oh, or what's your Facebook? Whatever it is, you're going to get something where you have that digital communication is now the way that she's going to filter. You might have had a great first impression, but now she goes, how does this guy react when I don't text him back for 3 days? How does this guy, react when I send this to him? So now the texting thing becomes the biggest center of communication, because these days everybody has a cell phone, and these days so many people meet online that becomes the way that girls filter out men. So if you don't understand texting, or you don't understand how you're coming across in texting, you will probably lose at this every single time, or you win, but the way that the girl reads your text, she knows that she's actually in control, so she sees you as a nice guy or a beta man because she sees that she has the social upper hand. She sees that she has the social leverage. Versus when she gets the impression from you by the way that you're texting her, and that you understand the game, you understand the little things here and there. When she gets that impression from you, then she becomes very, very intrigued, and now that becomes the guy that she wants to actually go after and chase and figure out what's he up to, because that guy understands how to use texting to communicate in the right way that actually increases his value, versus most guys text in a way that actually diminishes the actual value they bring because of how they're coming across. So there's a whole kind of pattern system for that idea. But these days, especially guys with quarantine, think about that. With the China virus, with all this, girls are going to be weeding people out from online or texting. Therefore, if you know how to do it, you're a kid in a candy shop. If you don't know how to do it, good luck. Have fun. It's impossible because there's so many different ways. She's been through so many of these other experiences. She's had so many other guys messaging her than you've had messaging you. So if you don't understand how to do it, you don't learn the right way to do it, she has way more practice. All right, guys. So this is where we could have gone so deep on this, but here's just kind of like a different way to say it. So, okay, mindset shift. This is where you become the tester. This is what Chad and Tyrone understand. Okay, we always hear how women test men, but think about it. The teacher tests the student. The student doesn't test the teacher. You come into class one day and the teacher goes, hey, time for a test. It's not like the students go, guess what? We also have a test for you, teacher. No, the teacher tests the student. So she can't test you if she is working to pass your test herself. There's a lot of deep psychology in this, but any guy that's really good with women, they know what I mean by this. They understand what I'm saying. And basically the way I look at it is this. In a way, I used to spend so much time learning every test that would be thrown at me in a social environment, on a date, a text message, whatever. Every little thing. If she says this, how can I respond? So I learned how to pass all these little tests throughout the social game. What I'm trying to get kind of bring up is a whole nother world. That was one world. There's one world where guy has no idea that tests are going. Guy fails all tests. That guy's beta man, nice guy, bummer. There's another world where guys go, ooh, there's tests women throw at me, and they start to get smarter about how they reply to these tests, and they start passing these tests, and women start to treat them better because these guys are passing these tests, and they're coming off as pretty cool, calm, and collected guys. So that works well. I was at that stage for a lot a large point in my life. Is like, oh, this is fun. I don't care what test she throws at me. Boom, I know how to pass it. Watch this. What I'm trying to tell you is there's another level to this. This is the Chad and Tyrone mindset. This is the mindset that those top 20% or the top 10% of men know and understand. That mindset it's a totally different shift. No longer does the guy become tested by the women. Remember, women are human beings, guys. A lot of times when we talk about in like this sense, it's talking about women like there's some scary things. Women are human beings. They're very emotional. They've got feelings just like men do. So think about it. When you understand there's a whole brand new game, right? Because most women test men because most women are ahead socially, that social IQ over men, because they've gone on more dates, they've been on more experiences. Therefore, they feel like the leader, so they can become the teacher and throw out tests to the students. And now she watches how the students react. How do they respond to the test? And then she gives them a grade. Ooh, B-. Ooh, A+. I'm going to give you a gold star, maybe a blowjob too. Right? It can be a fun world when you're passing these tests. But again, what I'm trying to do is show you the shift in the mindset. There's that whole new level of mindset where it goes, hey, that guy no longer even thinks about getting tested by women. He's not worried. He passes all of her tests on autopilot. It's second nature to him. Chad and Tyrone have been through all the tests. They know how to do it. It's autopilot. So what they're worried about is not going, Chad and Tyrone don't go, she threw this at me. How do I pass this test? Chad and Tyrone go, how do I test this girl and see if I even want to spend time with her? How do I throw a test at her, and judging by her reaction, I'm going to decide whether I let her hang out with me tonight? How do I test her and do blah, blah, blah? See, it's a completely different game. And so these women, when they get around Chad and Tyrone, these women, they no longer play the testing game. They don't even think about testing Chad and Tyrone. Those women don't think about, what if I bring up this other guy around Chad and Tyrone, see how he reacts? Those women don't think about it. You know why? Those women are walking on eggshells, having the time of their life because they're being tested the whole time. They're going, ooh, I know that if I mess up, I'm not getting another chance. Ooh, I know. So they're spending their whole time going, how do I pass Chad and Tyrone's tests? So testing doesn't even come up for Chad or Tyrone. Testing happens for women when you get into that scenario, because the whole secret of all this, right, is that Chad and Tyrone make women play into their world. Women make most men play into their world. So when you're at a standstill, Chad and Tyrone here going, I make women play into my world. Women going, I make most men play into my world. Women goes, hey, I've seen fake Chad and Tyrones before. So women holds her ground. It's a game of chicken. She goes, this guy's gonna snap. He's gonna fold. I'll get him. That's what this girl does. She has this inflated ego from so many simps. So she thinks, I got this guy. He's just another false confidence guy. A guy that he's pretending to be confident, but really I know how to emotionally push his buttons. That's what she gets. But then Chad and Tyrone comes in, and Chad and Tyrone goes, no, guess what? You play into my world, or we don't play. Or I send your quarterback out of order, play a new game. You don't play this game here. You play into my world, or we do not play. And if you step into my world, here are the rules that I expect you to follow. And I'm going to test you every step of the way to make sure that you're following my rules in my world. Do you guys see how different that mindset is? She comes into your video game, your world, where you make all the rules, versus most guys play into her world where she's making the test. That, again, think about it. 2 tests don't happen at the same time. It's all about that shift in the mind, the perceived reality. If a woman perceives that you have a higher social IQ than she does, because you're not reacting, you're passing all the things that she thinks a guy's going to do, you're not doing those. It's like it just shifts, and she goes into that guy's world. This is why we say women will share an alpha. They will do whatever. That 30 women will share the same alpha, even if they know that guy is sleeping with 29 other women. It's exactly because of this idea is women like to be tested. They want to be the performers. Think about how much attention women love. She wants to be tested. She wants to be the one performing. Ooh, I can pass this guy's test, right? That's why I say girls lick their chops. When they see a guy that has game, they're like if a girl's like, hey, you better bow down to me and buy me a drink. And if a guy's like, okay, that's no fun for a girl. If a girl's like, hey, you better bow down to me and buy me a drink. And the guy's like, just for saying that, you're going to have to buy me 2 drinks. That's crazy that would even come out of your mouth, right? And she sees a different guy there. She goes, ooh, this is fun. I want to be tested. I want to be put through the inferno. That's women want to go, this guy, ooh, I have to play by his rules or I'm out. That is emotional for them. They're living in the moment then. They're like, man, I better not say this or I'm in trouble. I better not say this or I'm in trouble. Versus the nice guy, the women can get away with anything, so it's so boring for them. So that's the mindset shift that, again, like I said, that could be a whole nother webinar. That's when I break down stuff like the offense part, the game part, that's when I talk about this type of stuff. The mindset shift to you're the tester. How do you do this? How do you test her when she sends you this text? How do you come off where she's chasing after you because you're the prize? That's a whole nother world, but the whole first stage of this is getting tested. Oh, she's going to test me, blah, blah, blah. You pass the test, all that. It's like, no. When you get to that other world, you're putting tests on for her, and she has to jump through hoops for you. And that's when it becomes really fun, because that's natural, too, as a man to be the leader. That's when it's just very congruent, too, inside, where it's like, this is cool. Because no guy feels good deep down when they're simping, because there's something wrong with that. We know it deep down. There's something wrong with simping and putting a woman on a pedestal. So guys, secret, they don't feel good about that. But when you're just like a man and girls are coming after you, they're chasing after you, all that, that's so natural as a man. Man, I wish we could just sit down sometimes and have conversations with a lot of our ancestors from back in the day and just like pick their brains about how they thought about things, because it was a different world, totally different mindset. All right, let's see. I think I have one or two more here. Okay. In conclusion, correct. This is true. Becoming a tester is tiring too. Yeah, it can be tiring to do that as well. But kind of like I mentioned with when Chad and Tyrone are on autopilot, they pass tests on autopilot. It kind of gets to that level as well. It's kind of like where you're just like, oh, laughing. You're like, oh, boom, I have her. And you kind of laugh and it just comes to you. It's like, oh, easy. I send this to her and here's a test. So it becomes a lot easier. It becomes second nature. But yeah, I get it. I mean, when you think about intersexual dynamics, there's so much psychology involved in all of this that anything you learn new becomes very tiring at first. But yeah, you're right. It can become testing. And that's why, definitely have other hobbies and stuff in your life. And wow, yeah, I see what you guys are saying. All right, so here's the conclusion. Nice guys get tested constantly. If a woman puts you in her nice guy category, in her mind, she will frequently test you, both consciously and subconsciously. All right, your turn, guys. This is my intentional beer drinking break. Post in the chat your thoughts on why the nice guy gets constantly tested and other ways in which she will test him. I'm going to drink some beer, pour another glass, And then I have to get going here really shortly. I'm going to be hanging out with my brother, but I have a couple things I want to show you guys. A couple, things for part 2. We'll do kind of a quick thing going on there. This is for you. This is for you, the truth. You teach me and I'll teach you. Fade 'em on. Gotta catch 'em all. Fade 'em on. Gotta catch 'em all. All right. The earphones will be coming in for the second part a little bit here. All right. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we're going to have to get going. Actually, I'm going to squeeze through this. All right, guys, I have to let you guys know December 1st, which it will be ready by then. I'm giving, there's a lot more stuff to putting this together than I actually thought. So still working on this a lot. But December 1st, guys, remember, mark your calendar. Texting school. I'm hoping next week to have it ready, but we'll see. Texting school, real text, real teacher, real results. I'm going to break down the offense in here. I'm going to give you the entire game plan for how to text a woman, how to play it the right way, and my whole formula for the $10 bill date. To get a girl, you can ask her out where she's not going to flake, because I'm going to throw so many things at her that she's distracted by. Mystery, curiosity. She's going to be intrigued that she has to show up. I'm going to teach you step 1 all the way till setting that date through texting school with your lovely man here, Adam. And I'm going to show you tons of real text examples where I actually show you what it's like. Guys, no matter who you are, no matter what you've seen of me in my texts, I promise you haven't seen my best ones. Stuff that is just like, man, it would be like, I feel like I would have to write a novel to give people background before showing you, boom, here's the other moves you can use. But anyway, December 1st, guys, that is coming. I'll give you more information when it comes out. Remember, 12-level program to stop simping, start pimping. You can turn I'm going to teach any man how to turn his cell phone into a deadly weapon of seduction. And so that you can read text messages and learn to not waste any of your time. I can literally see with 2 screenshots how a woman feels about a man. I could give you a percentage of how into him she is. I could probably tell you how that relationship's going to go. There's so much power into that because texting is just a brand new form of communication. But when you know what to look for, it's just the same as any other form of communication. And you can use it to your advantage. So that'll be coming out soon. I wanted to get straight into the second half, guys. I'm not even going to give myself a pee break because I got to go here soon. I told my brother I'd be off by 9 o'clock. That's 23 minutes from now. We'll see. I told him I'd text him too. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to get to as many things as I can, guys. I just want to give you guys some fun stuff here. So, hey, is a quick little disclaimer for anyone that was on here for the girl part. So this part right here, we're not talking about women anymore from this point forward. You can love me or you can hate me for this, but this is no more about women. This is about life. What is going on? Like I said, I'm going to get rolling straight through here so we can get through as much as we can. I asked her to show me her Bulbasaur. Man, I spent, I don't know, a good 10 minutes watching some guy open up a pack of first edition Pokemon cards from way back in the day. The Pokemon cards that I used to buy for $2.99 when I used to play Pokemon growing up. And I watched this guy for 10 minutes undo a pack. Man, bringing back such good memories. The good old memories. I think he got a, what did he get? He got a Ninetales. That was his holographic he got. Nothing special. Hey, Maestro, my man. F Joe Biden, he's a simp. Hey, I'm only going to agree with you on that one. All right. Okay, let me go here. First, let's start with some, let's transition. Any people that haven't got off yet, leaving that we're like, oh, shoot, we're transitioning here. I'll start you out. I'll ease you in here before we get a little more crazy with a nice little meme. Pushing through 2020 like. You guys, who knows that movie? Name that movie. Name that movie. I'm about to roll up one of these after I get off this when I'm about to hang out with my brother. We're gonna smoke it up. Hey, KII, hey, this is good though, right? Just like with a lot of the stuff we talk about with women, a lot of that stuff you didn't know until you knew it, right? So, again, I will tell you this a million times. You don't have to trust what I say on these. That's why I try to show you things. But with the why you can't stand Donald Trump, I just ask why. Why do you not like him? Do you have a real reason? Or are all the reasons racist, sexist, homophobic, blah, blah, blah that you've heard from the media? Because we dive into that part a lot. But I respect you for at least listening to a differing point of view. You know how I feel about Trump. I like Trump a lot. Trump's my man. So respect to you for sitting here and listening to a differing point of view, though. For real, a lot of people don't do that anymore. So I'm going to give you props for that and just ask you, all I ask for you, keep your mind open just enough that you're willing to be shown different things than maybe what your point of view is right now. All right, here's another one. Fun little meme to start with. Normal people up there in the top, conspiracy theorists down at the bottom. That's why I said 2020 has been a wild year. It's been pretty fun. Because look how funny it is. I used to be considered the crazy one, the conspiracy theorist, right? Now these are the people walking through on the top, and I'm the only one in my local Safeway without a mask. And these are the people that are shopping now. All right, here's another one for you guys. Hey, when one appears, the other disappears. Flu and COVID. Did you guys ever notice? Superman. Hey, look at that. The flu, COVID. Ooh, the little switcheroo, the bait and switch on you guys. Now, I do like to hear the normies talking points. So what I did find out when I thought this was like really funny when I brought that up to like my normie friends about all the flu being down so much. Wow, it's crazy how little the flu is this year. It's all COVID, it seems. And their response, so they do have, I'll give them credit, they have a response to cover this one up. Their response is, well, that's because masks and social distancing has been working so well, so the flu has been going down too. I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. I keep trying to play along with this little make-believe fairy tale that we're living in right now. Guys, 2020 is different, man. It's shown me so much at what a fairy tale we're living in. Oh, I'm pinching myself. Like, am I in a dream? No, this has not been a long dream. This is like for real. It's crazy. All right, let me show you another fun one. That's our man, Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fraudcy, a.k.a. the Grinch. Hey, no Christmas for you guys now. We could go down a whole nother rabbit hole about that being a pagan holiday and all that stuff. Satan, Santa, all of that stuff. We could go down another one, but I love that whole feeling in the air of the Christmas spirit and all that and being around family. So I'm not going to let them take that away from me. But yes, I know there's a whole thing with the origins and all that. But anyway, we got all these crazy people trying to tell you to stop meeting with your family for Thanksgiving and Christmas because of the pandemic. All right, here's one, guys. Let's get into a video. WWE. All right. So WWE's Bray Wyatt, all those Hollywood types are all the same, willing to sacrifice their own offspring to appease the reptilian overlord. Literally, it aired 2 nights ago on WWE Raw. Vince McMahon has been red-pilling the public for how long now? I don't know about that. I don't know. I've heard that Vince McMahon and Trump are cool with each other and all that. But, I mean, I'm skeptical about a lot of this mainstream entertainment. But check this out. Watch this. This just came out a few days ago. You guys don't need to see me for this. I see it, James Holden, absolutely. And I love your avatar. That's awesome. Yeah, The Miz, guys. Remember, he was a reality TV show. Now,
obnoxious, pompous, vapid, willing to sacrifice their own offspring to appease their reptilian overlord.
That part right there, depending on how many live streams you've seen with me, you maybe haven't seen me touch on that subject before. But as crazy as that might sound, there's a lot more truth in that statement, in my opinion, than most people would be led to believe. Sacrificing the firstborn and who really rules the world. Ooh, that's a whole fun can of worms to go down. I got 15 minutes left, so I can't obviously touch on all of that right now. But let's keep going. Okay, here's something fun for you guys. So, wow, Facebook removed President from Donald Trump and has him listed as a political candidate. He's still our president, and when he is declared the winner, they will feel like the complete and utter fools they are. All right, so check this out. They removed president from Trump, and they put political candidate on there. And yet, guys, so again, this is why I try to show you the media discrepancies, because again, this is another one like I showed you last week. They have Biden stand in front of the office of the president-elect, literally made up thing, but they do that to show authority. So they get stuff like this to show, Trump is just a political candidate. He's no longer president, right? They do that. Just think about the psychology. They do this for the normies. And then you get Biden standing in front of office of the president-elect. Oh, yeah, obviously Biden's really the guy. When in reality, guys, this is look at this. This is this is Biden. This is what he looks like, right? Oh boy. All right. Okay. Let's get a little bit. Yeah, the Dewey Declaration. Yeah, absolutely. They did it with Dewey. They did it with the Gore as well. Yeah, yeah. So they've done it. This would be the third time now. Here's one for you guys. Now, this is when we did the Halloween special, the Hocus Pocus. Again, spiritual warfare. There's a whole nother, in my opinion, some people get mad when I talk about it like this is real if they haven't seen it. In my opinion, there's spiritual warfare. Just think about this. Cast spells. We all know what casting is. Broadcasting. They're just casting spells to a larger audience. Broadcasting. Different way to look at things. All right, here's a good meme. Indiana Jones with Arizona here. It's red. What do I do? The classic scene in Indiana Jones. If I can just, like Chad Hart said here with Dominion voting, just do the old switcheroo, the bait and switch. No one will ever know. No one will ever be any of the wiser for it. Yeah, broadcasting. Mastermind Rational, there's a whole rabbit hole of how interesting it is to think about words and how they're constructed. There's a way deeper meaning. Cursive. Even the thing on I try to and I don't do a very good job. This is like weird status, but when I try to say children instead of kids, because kids are like baby goats. Goats, Baphomet. Baphomet is a link to, a idol that they worship. So even little things about how they set up or they get the GOAT to be the mainstream thing, like the GOAT, the greatest of all time, right? Everyone says Tom Brady, the GOAT. GOAT. They try to bring up GOAT, Baphomet. There's so many rabbit holes to this. They teach kids cursive writing. Curse. You're able to curse people with your words. There's a lot to this. There's a lot of fun on the wordplay part. Don't have time tonight. All right, here's one for you guys. This is just kind of society. Look at this. This is. I don't care. You know what? Wear whatever the heck you want, right? I don't have a problem with that. Look at me. I'm wearing a Blackhawks hockey jersey. I love wearing jerseys. I don't care about fashion. I'm not like a fashion guy. But when they put this propaganda out there and they try to do this and they get it in the mainstream, they get kids to cross-dress and to just mess with their psyches and brains, and they just pollute intentionally. They pollute and blur the lines and mix genders. That's garbage propaganda. I don't like that crap. They try to throw this stuff. Yeah, like this is the new. Yeah, this is what guys are. Get out of here with that crap. Get out of here. All right. Do I want to show? What do I want to show? I want to show a couple of videos. Let me show a little something. Elon, though. You guys might have saw this from Elon Musk. Something extremely bogus is going on. Was tested for COVID 4 times today. 2 tests came back negative. 2 tests came back positive. Same machine, same test, same nurse. Rapid antigen test from BD. Yeah, what is that bulge, James Holden? I don't know, but I don't know why they need this bulge. There's nothing there. There's no way there's anything here. That bulge. Sorry, man. This is not a dude. Sorry if that offended anyone's feelings that like to dress like that. That's a man. I'm so sorry about that. Let's see here. That was Elon. Okay, let me give you one about Candace Owens. So this is from below here. We have Rep. Paul Gozar. I was just walking through a restaurant with my mask on, but then I sat down, so it was okay to take it off, right? You guys can sense the sarcasm, right? Just think about how stupid this is. Walking through a restaurant with my mask on, but I sit down, all of a sudden COVID goes, well, hey, nothing to see here. He sat down. I can't attack him now. He's good to go, right? It was obviously a sarcastic play there. And then Candace Owens says, don't forget that if you get up to use the restaurant, you have to put it back on. Bathroom breaks transform you back into a weapon of mass destruction. It's science. Yeah, right? Guys, I hope you guys are all real and I'm not in the Truman Show where everyone's looking at me and you guys are all NPC robots and I'm the only person alive. Sometimes that's the way it feels. I went to Papa Murphy's yesterday, which is a pizza place, if you guys don't know, where you can buy up pizzas, but then they make it for you, but you have to put it in your own oven. So I bought some Papa Murphy's pizzas yesterday, and I went to pick them up. And I imagine my surprise that I can't get into my local Papa Murphy's pizza place. There's a line of 3 other people waiting outside the door. Imagine this, it's raining. I live in Washington State. But anyway, it's outside the door. There's 3 people standing in line outside the door. Can't go in. So I walk up. This is just yesterday. And I'm like, and by the way, these people outside the door are wearing their masks. Yes, every little one of them, the good little sheep here. They're all wearing their masks outside of Papa Murphy's. Why, I ask? I'm wondering what's going on. Why can't people get in there? I'm walking in there with no mask. We're outside in the frickin' outside 1. 2, I think masks are dumb either way, but still, outside there should be no question in my mind. Well, the guy in front of me tells me, well, we can't go in there because they have a 4-person limit of who can be inside there. There's 4 customers that ordered their pizzas and sat inside on the benches to wait for their pizzas. So myself and another guy, there were 2 guys that hadn't ordered yet, had ordered online or call in order, and we had to wait in line for each person to come out so that we could walk into our store just so I could pick up my pizza I had already ordered. We weren't allowed to be in the store. Too many people, four people or more. COVID's going to be spread. Oh my gosh, crazy. I couldn't believe it. I literally looked around at the people outside and I just go, guys, this is insanity. Like, this is a joke, right? This is a joke, right? And they're just like looking around like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Just, stand in line. Like, I guess this is what we do. It's like, how is this real? How is this stuff real? And that's just a personal example. I'm sure there's so many far worse, but I can't. Are you real in the chat? Are you guys real people? Do you have consciousness? Or is this all just some joke? Am I the only person alive in the world? I honestly wonder this sometimes. Right? Chad, you're real, right? I know you're real, Chad. You're real, right? Daydrive, you're real, aren't you? James Holden, you're real, aren't you? Are you guys real people? Like, seriously, does anyone else question this sometimes? How is this stuff for real? How? Look at this. Look at this stuff, man. All right, look at this. Yeah, hey guys, I've already told you, if you have to wear your mask for work or whatever, that sucks, but I understand that sucks, but it sucks, right? It's still crazy to do. But if you're walking around, if you're wearing your mask in your car, you're wearing your mask outside on your walks, like, wake up, pull your head out of your butt. But check this out. Obama 2008, right? 69 million votes. Clinton 2016, 65 million. Okay, Obama had hope, change, the first black president ever behind him. Understandably why he'd get a lot of allure. Clinton had 4 million less votes than Obama. She had the first woman president behind her, allure. And of course we had media, knocking Donald Trump, of course, right? She got 65 million. Yet Joe Biden in 2020, who is another old white male, if that is the point they want, right? He doesn't have the Obama factor. He doesn't have the Clinton factor. He's just the old white male. He's been in politics for 47 years, so it's not like he's going to bring some crazy hope and change like Obama promised, which I can understand why people would believe that. But with Biden, right, he doesn't have that. He was hiding in his basement Biden, during this entire year. He would get 20 or less people to his rallies in his little 6-foot social distance circles. Yet you're trying to tell me that Biden smashed the record for the most votes all time. You're really trying to tell me that? There's no way. There's no way. There's no way anyone that voted for Trump, with the exception of one person that I know, didn't vote for Trump again because he did a good job. Yet you're going to tell me that he lost to Joe Biden? No, he didn't win. And you guys know me from the day one, and I will not waver on this. There's no way Biden won this election. It was Trump. I've never been worried. I'm not worried at all right now. There's just no way. However, let's see. Okay, by the way, I'm going to show you guys some propaganda. Look at this. When Biden and Kamala, time to heal. Look at all these different places. Time to heal. This is a time to heal in America. A time to heal. A time to heal. Time to heal. A time to heal. Time to heal. All of that stuff, right? All of that garbage. Propaganda to make you think, oh, this is a time to heal. Look at this from different places. Build back better, like Creepy Joe. Build back better. Boris said in the top left, build back better. Building back better. Look at all these other places. Building back better. All right? Shoot. Okay, I just got a text from my brother, so I got to get off here real soon, but I want to show you guys a few things. Let me get you to the video station. Where are we at here? What? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. All right, let me show you guys a few more that I wanted to show you. How about this guy? How about this? This is Biden for you guys. Look at the bottom here. This is going to try to tell you what he said. This is just all day long, and the media did a really good job covering most of this up. But you tell me this guy smashed the record for the most votes ever?
By the way, The same stable genius who said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports.
What?
Whoa. Yo, man.
Try that again. Look at this. What did he say? The same stable that Jesus said that the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is because we didn't have enough airports. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. Doesn't that sound like he says this?
By the way, the same stable genius who said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports.
What?
What?
Whoa. Oh, man.
Oh man, I would laugh more at, with Biden and all this stuff if I didn't know his disgusting, sick, gross past. If he was just this airheaded politician, it'd be a little bit funnier. There's a lot of gross stuff going on. Talked about that, but all right, let me see if there's a couple other things I want to show you guys. Oh man, this is gonna be okay. I better go quick. Okay, here's Beetlejuice, Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago. Listen to her.
Prerogative works is there's got to be compliance with the executive branch, because otherwise it doesn't work. So you got to eliminate that compliance, and you make it a mandate, and then you do training, particularly in the city. I'll call them licensing departments, whether it's zoning, buildings, housing will be impacted by it, planning certainly, and you pick the people that run those agencies and the deputies that are pledging allegiance to the New World Order and good governance. And then I think you have the Inspector General do some spot audits to make sure that there is real compliance.
All right, remember, Beetlejuice, Lori Lightfoot. This is all you really have to hear. Remember, listen to this again.
Deputies that are pledging allegiance to the New World Order and good governance. And then I think you have the Inspector General do some spot audits.
Yeah, that's right. The New World Order. Okay, this Gavin Newsom one, I can't. It's 2 minutes and 10 seconds. He's just being a douche. Kind of want to show it to you, but I gotta go here real soon. I want to show you any of these. How about this? OAN potential landslide. Here's from OAN. Listen to this.
U.S. Army forces went into Seidel and grabbed their server. There's some that believe this is the U.S. intelligence that manipulated all this.
New reports claim the real results of the 2020 U.S. election were found on a computer server that was seized by the U.S. military in Frankfurt, Germany. In a recent tweet, a Virginia congressional candidate shared an electoral map that's allegedly based off of the data from that server. It shows a landslide victory for President Trump with 410 electoral college votes, including liberal strongholds California and Minnesota. Congressman Louis Gohmert says the real election results were stolen through vulnerabilities in the Dominion voting systems.
Extremely compelling evidence that could be gleaned from Seidel. That's SCYTL. That's a company.
All right, and whatever. You guys heard that. Anyway, again, I'm rushing this a little bit, but main story is, guys, if you really thought that this election was over or called, it's not. Don't worry. I tell you guys that a lot. All right, I want to show you this Robert Steele. I think this is Robert Steele, right? Just listen to what he says here.
We have it all. All of the illicit wealth in the world has been tracked by the National Security Agency for the past 15 years. We now know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Wall Street has stolen $100 trillion from Main Street with naked short selling. We also know that Wall Street has laundered $100 trillion in dirty money from trafficking in children and women and drugs and guns and gold. I could never tire of saying that 90% of the people in the U.S. government, the U.S. military, the U.S. intelligence community are good people trapped in a bad system. The secret intelligence community serves the deep state. It does not serve the American public. And CIA in particular has been doing torture, rendition and torture, drone assassination, regime change, helping to start wars based on lies, all because war and trafficking in humans and drugs and so forth are a profit center for Wall Street and the deep state. And once the president gets Benny into NSA and processes 100% of what we have at NSA, we have every single one of you by the balls. You cannot survive this. You have one out. The Truth and Reconciliation out is make the deal, motherfucker, or you are going to die.
It's guys, oh man, it's so true. KII. I'll talk about this in a moment. All right, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to show you a quick Biden voter fraud thing because I'm... Oh man, there's a couple other things. Ooh, I want to show you the Ted Cruz on. I'll show you that next time. I'll keep the ones I don't show you for next time. Let me just show you, not Socialism Girl. Here, we'll do this one real quick.
All right, October 28th, 2020. I just got 11 ballots in the mail to people that I later found out are no longer alive. I'm sure they would have voted for Joe Biden. Let's go.
All right, you get the point. We know that. We know there's a lot of that going on. All right, I'm going to save a couple of the other ones. I want to show you this last thing. Okay, right here. I'm going to bring back up. I like this. Now, this, where was it at? I was looking at KII. Here we go. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. Let me bring this back up. Where is it? KII. There it is. If Donald Trump would stop tweeting, then maybe he would have a chance. The more he tweets, the more delusional and crazy he sounds. It's almost like he's tweeting and save face. He knows he lost. I love this. KII. I understand. I really do. I'm trying to put myself in other people's perspective. If you just looked at his tweets and heard what was going on in the mainstream media and all that stuff, then it does sound exactly what you're saying. To me, I go, I can't wait. Look at some of Donald Trump tweets now from, and how they've aged from the past. He called out 9/11, which KI, maybe you don't believe there's anything fishy about that, so maybe I won't lead with that one. He called out Epstein. He's done a lot in his tweets that have aged very, very well. But, and again, just like he said before about they spied on my election, all of that stuff. I won the election. Everything that sounds like he's lying, right? Think about that. Either he's actually lying or he's telling the truth. Think about that. Either he's lying or he's telling the truth. Now, you, KI, sound like you're at the thought that he's lying. I'm at the thought he's telling the truth, which means look how interesting it will be to uncover everything he's been tweeting. If it comes out that he was, in fact, telling the truth this whole time. So let me give you a quick example before I go. And this should not convince anybody. Let me be very clear. This is a small, tiny example when I've told you guys that I've followed 17 Anon. Where we go one, we go all. I followed 17 Anon since it came out, okay? So here's just a quick example of why Trump's tweets are so important, because you can't get real information out anywhere else in a lot of cases, right? The media lies about everything. So check this out. This is just one example of what 17 Anon, this has been going on for years. So many proofs just like you're seeing right here. Okay, so this is no way POTUS, President of the United States, is just talking about wreaths. Check this out, okay? Now, let me show you. So this was 11/17/2020. I'm trying to show you guys his tweets are so much more important than most people even have any idea about. Yes, he delivers a lot of news, but also his misspellings. I know this sounds crazy. I understand this sounds crazy. I'm telling you this because I've seen this proof over and over and over and over again. And I've been following along since day one. So misspellings in his tweets, what will happen is he does that to get the media to make fun of him, to notice it, puts a bunch of eyes on his tweets, and then what you call the anons, the anonymous people, the oddists around the world, figure out what the heck he meant. I know that sounds crazy, guys, but it's the year 2020, so if you haven't accepted crazy yet, then bear with me for a moment, right? So look at this. He just tweeted this 11/17. I have reversed the ridiculous decision to cancel wreaths across America at Arlington National Cemetery. It will go on. It will now go on. All right. So Trump's misspellings in his tweets are something that we've always been taught to look at and decode, figure out what it means. The other thing is when he uses capital letters in his tweets, he sometimes sends a message through gematria. So what is gematria? Gematria, just like when I say 17 and on, you count up the letters of the alphabet. So look at his tweet here. IWAAANCI. You count up all those letters, and you actually add up the numerical value. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, just like he did here. I equals 9, W equals 23, A equals 1, right? 1 through 26 if you think of the alphabet. Z is 26, W is 23. So you add up all these things. And guys, I'm telling you this is not one thing he's done. This has been over and over constantly. I had to see so many of these years ago before I fully started to buy in. And you've only seen more and more of these as the days go on. When people make fun of his tweets, there's usually something more that people that dig deeper have been watching and looking at. So you count these up, that equals 61. Again, I'm showing you this, telling you this. This is not the first one. There's been so many exactly like this. Now, what you do is you go on to what we call the boards. 17anon.pub. This is where 17anon drops. So this was 61. Okay? How did we get there? We used the gematria from his tweet. 61. It has a hidden message. They've been doing this for so long, guys. This is why it's been spectacular. Please refer back and collect my crumbs. Is discussed. We've anticipated the Twitter and other social media blackouts. Rogue agents, programmers. Pursued federal orders we quickly tracked and reinstated. Expect outages periodically infiltrated. If this doesn't signal what I've been saying, I don't know what will. Right? This was posted November 2nd, 2017. What I'm trying to show you is everything you see, there's a hidden layer behind it and a hidden meaning, hidden communications, hidden comms, as they call it. So when everyone sits there and goes, well, Trump's crazy, there have been people that have been decoding this stuff since day one. This is the stuff that people have seen to actually get inside information about what's been going on. This was in 2017. When you look at 3-year deltas, as they call it, you can look at a lot of stuff that 17anon has posted 3 years ago, and you look back about what happened 3 years later on that same day, and you go, oh my gosh, in the media, how is that possible that was predicted? Over and over and over and over again. I'm not going to tell you how I understand how that's possible, other than there's way more than we know about what's going on in the world with quantum mechanics. Dude, something about time travel, how we see time, how we perceive time. There's so much more to this, right? I'm only showing you an example, understanding that no one should get full clarity seeing this example. It's just a small example of any action where when you follow his tweets and you know what to look for, people have been digging in, and then you have this whole thing on the side that a lot of people go, this sounds like riddles. No one can decode this. It's like, no. People do know how to decode this, and they break it down. And when you understand that, you're not scared about what's going on right now. You understand what's going on because stuff like this has been presented to you. This was all created for a reason, so that so many people, as you would call anons, are able to spread the truth, to not make everyone in the world right now freak out when all this stuff has happened. Even since day one, since this quarantine, I knew something bigger was at play, and a lot of the other anons knew that. They were able to calm down other people. How many of you guys on my channel here have been coming here to try to get some of the news about stuff that's been going on politically or whatever, because you can't find it anywhere else? This is part of the job that has been done. This is what I'm telling you guys. I hate to say, my brother texted me again. I'm 13 minutes late, so I really have to go. I have a few more things I want to show you, but I just got to go. He just texted me grabbing a beer too, so that's good. All right. But anyway, we're all here for a reason. You, myself, other people, we're all here for a reason at this moment to experience this monumental shift and whatever this means for humanity and reality. I'm telling you that this is wild. 2020, there's more at stake than what most people think. And this is awesome. You got a front row ticket to the greatest show alive. This is better than any Netflix series you will ever find. When you've been figuring that when you've been following along with this stuff, this is more exciting than the best movie you've ever seen. Because this is like reality. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable the stuff that's going to be dropping. Again, I have to go. I wish I could explain this more, but it's a funny little end here. It's like, meet the Kraken. Some of you know what I'm talking about. The Kraken, right? Meet the Krakens. Meet the parents. A little funny. Sydney Powell here. Kraken. Crack, it's Sydney. What's up, Sid? I need you to go F some up. Okay. Where we go one, we go all, baby. Boom. Sydney Powell, she is going to be an American legend, you guys. A lot more to that. Sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger, but I got to go. I'm hanging out with my brother and my buddy. And take care, guys. And KII, keep an open mind. If you're not, I don't expect you to be convinced yet, because I could have given you a lot better stuff on like Trump and Biden and all that stuff today. KII, I don't expect you to be converted, but keep an open mind. Keep coming on to these KII, and I'll show you the truth. I will. All right, guys. Wait. Next week, next Wednesday. No, I have no idea what we're going to do next Wednesday. So I will see you next Wednesday. I don't know what it's going to be. Who knows? But I will see you then. Take care. Love you all. Bye.